Come on, y'all, it's time.
Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
Rolling on the road
With the doc,
rolling on the road
with Dave,
rolling on the road.
with the doc.
100 shades of the possibilities with Dave and Dr. Burton.
All right. That was cool. Yeah.
Hey,
That was
all
nice.
Well, good morning. Today is December 8th. I'm here with Allison.
Hello.
Oh, she's made all of this possible for me to be here today. And I created my ArtPrize piece. Wow. This is so surreal. It's surreal. And I am really hoping that when you see this, it'll provide you with some comfort and know that there is life after this. And I love the fact that it says gift of life. I think the name is it's perfect. I don't know that I would have thought of any other type of name. And I had one of the members of the recovery team come on, and I love the way he said it, is that they take out an organ from one body and then they reanimate it in another. And that's where the life piece comes in. You know, to think about that, reanimating your loved one someplace else. And probably in this whole process, my most favorite conversation was with Wendy Smith. And you have to go back and watch it. And the way it's titled is almost like a Lifetime movie. The life story of Wendy Smith and her son Cody. That particular interview resonates so well with me as a person with a disability. And I have, since I've been in the wheelchair for 10 years, fight against ableism, which is the belief that persons with disabilities have no value. And for her son to feel that, you know, my desire and my wish would have been that I could have grabbed him by the hand and let him know that he does have value and be able to talk to others that have autism. But what I love the most about him is his aforethought, that if I could not be helpful in life, then maybe in my death, everybody could see that I had value. He had value. And what I love about Gift of Life is your ability or disability does not matter. You still can give the gift of life and give someone else an opportunity to live their own self-directed life. And so as I go in today to present my ArtPrize piece, it's just surreal. And because I chose to be very transparent, on the left side, I put everything that was wrong with my husband, but then how he was able to impact the lives of 80 persons, even though, you know, he probably smoked for more than 20 or 30 years, but he quit almost 3 years ago. And he loved to have, you know, not necessarily brown liquor, but he enjoyed a beer or two. And he had COPD, asthma, neuropathy, type 2 diabetes. And can you imagine that they took his eyes and 2 people received their sight? And I think it's selfish to allow all of that to get buried in a grave forever and ever while someone else's loved one dies. And my dad lost his sight from being in Vietnam. I can only imagine how, if someone would have donated their eyes, there were grandchildren he didn't get to see. He never got a chance to look on my face one last time. It had been over 30 years since he was able to look at me, and what that would have meant. But I do appreciate how he would touch my face, touch my nose, touch my eyebrows, and touch my head. I appreciated that. And maybe for those moments, it was okay that he didn't have sight, because he had insight in those moments. And he didn't have to see me and to know how I was feeling and what I was thinking. So I do love that part of it. But just how much more it would have meant for him to look in my eyes and for him to see my smile when he said, "I love you." All right, guys, come on, let's go. Okay, when you hit stop. And now I am ready for the tour. I'm here, and Allison has already brought in my piece, and it's right here, so I'm really excited for the unveiling, the unwrapping, if you will. And I hadn't decided on how I wanted to do it, and I'm so glad that my printer, Abby's Printing, shameless plug, you gotta see him. And I'm glad we made the decision to wrap it, because this is Gift of Life, and it is like unwrapping a present when you receive that gift. And so to unwrap something that was so devastating and tragic, totally unexpected in some respects, but the piece is entitled "Dying to Give Life." I know that seems like an oxymoron, but a lot of people will say, "I'm dying to get that new pair of shoes. I'm dying to get that car. Oh, I'm dying to go on that trip. Oh my God, girl, I'm dying to get them press-on nails you have." Yeah. And we say it so cavalierly. But how many are dying to give life to somebody else? And it really makes me think of how much God loves us, that He allowed His Son to die, that we might have life. Yeah. All right, we'll see you in a minute. So I am so excited to do the unveiling and present this to the Gift of Life for them to use how they need. Many of the artists who are in ArtPrize, they do get to sell their pieces. And I did have inquiries about mine, but I said this is going to go to the Gift of Life for them to use. However, if Miss Ramona, and you'll see her in a moment, if she wants to take this as part of her teaching when she goes into the marginalized communities, for them to say, you know what, I don't think I can give, man, you know, as they token on that cigarette, you know, man, Miss Ramona, I can't give. You see I'm smoking these cigarettes, I ain't about to give up my cigarettes. I ain't about to give up my brown liquor, And she can say, you know what, let me show you something. This young man here, he was a United States Army veteran. I'm a United States Navy veteran, and look at Miss Ramona's face. Look at Miss Ramona's face.
Wow. Wow.
Can you imagine
Wow.
to be able to take this with you?
Wow. Yeah.
That a 65-year-old African-American man, that's an age group that many of them wouldn't donate, not thinking about donating, and we take everything with us. And so, this is it. I think this will make a major difference. I know that it will within our community. And what I love the most is that he was a type 2 diabetic, and for him to have been able to donate arteries and veins to create fistulas, because many of our African American, community members die. Number one, waiting on a kidney. Number two, many of them, their ports give out, their fistulas give out, and they don't know. And how awesome that one of their own donated so that they could continue dialysis and still live a good life. So on behalf of Mr. and Dr. Stanley and Kimberly Barrington, I present my ArtPrize 2023 to Gift of Life to use as they need, Dying to Give Life. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
What are your thoughts?
I think so much. First of all, my first thought is gratitude to you for bringing this here to us at Gift of Life, for us to be able to share and to honor the legacy of your husband.
Yes.
Brother Stanley Barrington and Dr. Kimberly, the fact that you are showing and dismantling some of those things that people say, well, I have this, I have that, I have this. Visually, we see that despite all of these health challenges that your husband had, he was still able to give the gift of life through tissue donation. And so, trust me, we will definitely take it in the community and show it with pride, because I think that once again, art speaks a language to each and every one of us. And I know this one will definitely speak. And I love all of it, because for everything that you had this, but I changed this, that is just transformative, which is what you do, help to transform lives. So I want to say thank you on behalf of our CEO, Dory Dills, for your gift, and definitely for Allison for bringing you to us. And so I'm overjoyed that, your ArtPrize we can use to continuously showcase the gift of life. And so thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and I echo that. And I want to say thank you for, I know you've done ArtPrize before,
Yes.
and you could have done anything for your piece this year. And I think through your experience with your husband giving these gifts and you learning more about this, and I think it's just clear that you were very moved by that, and this is very impactful. And I just think about, one of the things I think about is how many people came by and saw that when they visited ArtPrize. How people scanned your QR code, saw your video.
So
you've
far,
been
we're
talking
at
about
over
that.
5,000 people who have interacted with the videos that we've done on the show about giving life, and with the ArtPrize piece, and even just doing some short snippets, you know, encouraging people to please give. And 1,000 people have now changed their license to say that they're going to be a donor. So I'm looking for a whole lot more as this makes its way
Yes.
in the community, and to have that type of influence from such a time would have been so sad. But to know 1,000 people are going to make the difference. You know, when you look at him, 80 people, so even if we say those 1,000 people, if they did just 80 people, that's over 8,000 people's lives. That will change. And wow. And let's even think, because he was cardiac, passed away. So think about those who will be brain dead, that will be able to give even so many more gifts. And I think it's over 100 gifts that you can give when you're there and the family has to make the decision to turn off that life support. And I would have to say, don't think of it as losing one person, because the Bible says to lose is to gain. And just imagine, you may have lost one person, however, there are 112 lives that would receive a gift from your family member. And not only is it going to be that 112 people individually, let's say even if they only had 2 other people in their family, so we say 114 times 2, we're at over 200 people now that are gonna have their lives changed.